Ever feel like you're being played, but you can't quite put your finger on how? The famous linguist and thinker Noam Chomsky laid out 10 powerful strategies used to manipulate the masses. Let's break them down. It's like pulling back the curtain on how the world really works. First, the strategy of distraction. Keep the public's attention glued to minor issues with huge emotional impact, so they don't notice the real social problems. Think sensational celebrity news or sports scandals, while major economic policies are being passed. The goal is to keep your mind occupied with anything but what truly affects your life. Second, create problems and offer the solutions. Imagine a government secretly allows urban violence to escalate. People get scared and demand action. The government then swoops in with new, repressive laws that limit freedoms, all in the name of security. They create the crisis to justify the cure they wanted all along. Third is the gradual strategy. If you want to introduce an unpopular policy, like cutting social benefits, don't do it all at once. That would cause a massive uproar. Instead, apply it slowly, bit by bit, year after year. Each small change seems bearable, but over a decade, the entire landscape changes without a single big fight. Fourth, the strategy of deferral. This one is about getting you to accept a painful sacrifice today by promising a better tomorrow. We need to accept these harsh economic cuts now, so our children can have a brighter future. By framing it as a necessary evil for a future gain, they get consent for policies that would otherwise be rejected. People are more willing to swallow a bitter pill if they're told it's for later. Fifth, addressing the public as if they were children. When you see officials using overly simplistic arguments, slogans, and emotional tones, this is what's happening. It bypasses critical thinking and encourages a childlike, uncritical acceptance. It assumes the audience is naive and can't grasp complex realities, making them easier to lead. Sixth, emphasizing emotion over reflection. This is a classic. Instead of presenting a rational argument, manipulators appeal directly to our feelings: fear, desire, anger, or pity. An emotional reaction short-circuits rational analysis. Once you're operating on pure emotion, you're much easier to persuade and control. Seventh, keeping the public in ignorance and mediocrity. A poor-quality education system is a key tool here. If people lack the critical thinking skills to understand the world around them, they become dependent on cheap, plentiful distractions. The goal is to create a gap between the knowledge of the ruling class and the knowledge of the general public. Eighth, encouraging the public to embrace mediocrity. This involves promoting entertainment that is vulgar, dumb, and superficial. The media is encouraged to make stupidity fashionable. When people are constantly consuming low-quality content, it dulls their intellect and makes them complacent, less likely to question authority or think deeply about anything. Ninth, replacing revolt with guilt. This is about making individuals believe that they are solely to blame for their own misfortune. You're unemployed because you're lazy, not because of economic policy. This fosters a sense of helplessness and self-blame. A person who feels guilty and inadequate is less likely to rebel and more likely to accept their fate. And finally, the 10th strategy: knowing the individual better than they know themselves. With advances in psychology and data collection, institutions can understand our unconscious drives, our weaknesses, and our desires better than we do. They use this intimate knowledge to influence our choices and behaviors without us even realizing it, all while publicly discrediting the very idea that such manipulation is even possible. These 10 strategies are powerful, but knowledge is the first step towards resistance. By understanding these tactics, we can start to see them in action and reclaim our own minds. Thanks for watching. If this opened your eyes, consider subscribing for more deep dives into how our world is shaped.